We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act but a habit. Good afternoon. A very warm welcome to all the dignitaries and students present here to witness the final day of Open House Week hosted by Aditya Academy of Architecture and Design. Throughout this week, we have been showcasing different design projects, engaging our viewers in the process of both the horizontal and vertical components of integrated learning. A modern day method combining where students learn in the classroom with the solution of real world problems. I am Saman Khaba.
And I am Shalom David of the 7th semester, and we will be your moderators for today. Before we start, we kindly request all our viewers to turn off your videos and mute your audios to enjoy an uninterrupted session. Adolf Loos once said, and I quote, "Architecture arouses sentiments in man. The architect's task, therefore, is to make those sentiments more precise. Experiencing a built work is like taking a journey where paths lead to observation, interaction, and yes, sentiments. Any space provides information and offers messages received in the form of scale and proportion, color and shape, texture and detail. How then do we create spaces that send the right message that serve our purposes? How do we anticipate the physical and psychological effects of any given space? It is our purpose here to explore how we, as human beings, experience the places we inhabit and to consider how we might design spaces that people feel good in. We now welcome architect Sarojini ma'am to say a few words.
Good afternoon, guys. I hope you all have had a great session of this 1 week of Open Forum, and I've been a part of it also. I've been observing all your presentations. I've seen how you all have grown over the years and batches, and how you have explored yourselves from when you've been nascent seeds, and how you sprouted, and I can see you all emerge out now. So for me, it's a different kind of happiness that comes in all this. And after a break that I've had, and I'm actually coming back and seeing your works, it's quite a startling impact. So yeah, I'm going to join you all very soon. So hoping to see a lot more efforts and lot more explorations, lot more of talking interactions. I understand the virtual world has taken over right now, but let's see how we can make the most out of it. And yeah, it's about how we learn from one another. Like I've always told you, I'm your senior, I'm not your teacher. So that's one of the things I will always carry. So the eye contact will be missing. But still, I think we can all really work towards great designs, great ideas, and how they can be executed. That's what we need to see. And like whatever forum we've got now of this 1 week's open week forum, it's really an amazing venture as I can see it. That all of you are able to come together and interact, and you have other people coming and giving you their own ideas, and you can learn from one another. That's the whole point. So it's coming to an end, but then it's actually the beginning of how we can take together the department forward and make Triple AD another big grand success, and we'll work towards it together. All the best, and look forward to a great session today. Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am, for your exquisite words. The French poet and philosopher Paul Valéry, in his book Eupalinos, or The Architect, speaks of the appearance of architecture, but more of how buildings can move their users. Architecture is not only experienced visually, but more so holistically through all our five senses in a haptic manner that extends our sensations well beyond our retinal imagery. This is the greatest responsibility we assume in contributing to sustainable growth and to the human spirit.
With that being said, Aditya Academy's Open Week aims to exhibit the work of its students who went that extra mile in spite of an ongoing crisis. With the adaptation of the learning process to newer times, digital learning, which just used to be an added tool in teachers' kit, has become the only tool feasible for learning. The usage of technology to tackle these implications still hasn't stopped our teachers but rather led to create a personal connection with not only our students but our parents as well, and has established way for continued communication.
We now have students from each batch to exhibit their design projects, granting us all a chance to discern and apprehend the works of AAAD. Architecture, as both a profession and the built environment, currently finds itself at a crossroads in trying to adapt to a world in constant flux. Cities and its people face continuous socio-economic, political, and environmental change on a daily basis, prompting a necessary rethink in the evolution of the urban environment. Now we ask Suhas of the 8th semester to talk about his design on an urban interface center. Over to you, Suhas.
Thank you, moderators. Good afternoon to all. Before continuing with my presentation, I want to share my experience on the way of online schooling. Earlier this year, we had a regular studio classes started. The few weeks we had to conduct the case studies to related our projects for getting a glimpse of urbanscape introducing to the commercial spaces. Then the pandemic crisis surely took a toll on day-to-day activities when we had to shift from the regular studio classes to online learning by the help of the technology. It comes with a baggage of its own advantages and disadvantages. We need to face the challenges. We had to face more of challenges. So on the online platforms. So teachers constantly supported us to make it comfortable for us to complete the academic works easily. So I would like to take an opportunity to thank all the faculties of AAAD for encouraging all the students to work continuously with determination and hard work. I would also like to express my gratitude towards our principal Ganesh Babu sir for providing our college students with this excellent platform to showcase their projects and providing others to glimpse of what they have done during this semester. Coming to the presentation, this semester we need to design an urban interface center. In an increasingly urbanized world, the architecture plays a vital role in shaping and influencing the urban environment complex and creating a meaningful spaces. To understand the many skills at which the architecture can engage with the urban context. To understand the architecture as an urban design project having the implementation of fabric, the understanding how the different users respond to the urban fabric. The objectives, we had a case studies of two malls, especially one, the Phoenix Mall and the urban case study thing. Coming to the site plan, the site is located in the Jepkur layout near Kodgihalli, beside the Jepkur aerodrome. Our site is like 12.34 acres, which is the main face is towards the Hebbal and airport corridor. So we have this thing. Coming to the concepts, I was like fully inspired from the crystal faces, like the crystals. The crystal can be viewed from all the angles due to the angles of the shapes. The shapes, I wanted those shapes to be included with my designs. These are the like sketches where I generated the sketches to become the plans. Then these are like the sketches for the elevation part. Then coming to mass and evolution of 3D models. I divided my 3D models into two parts, the commercial part and the gallery part. The gallery part is towards the metro and towards the roadside. Then excluded at 2 floors for the OIT and the urbanscape with the gallery space. Then connected with a bridge between the galleries and malls. Then added the landscape, details and landscape. Coming to the roof floor, the master plan. The entry happens towards the north side of the northwestern side of the site, and the exit happens towards the southern west side of the site. The cab is towards the west. Beside the cab, we have the pedestrian entry. The pedestrian entry is placed there so that the mall can be visually appealed. Then coming to the ramps, I have an entry ramp at the northern part where the orange color one indicates. Then I have the blue color one at the southern part of the site, which is the exit ramp from the basement to the ground. Then I have the service ramp where the service vehicle can enter from the ground to the service part of the basement. Then coming to the upper ground floor plan, the entry happens here. The blue color arrow indicates the entry to the mall. The entry happens at the mezzanine slab. The slab is located at the level of 0.5 meters from the ground level. So the person who is entering can access the both like upper ground as well as the low ground if he is interested. Then I have a orange color escalators part for the person to move from the upper ground to the first floor. Then the blue color escalators, like they are connective bridge between like from the low ground to upper ground. Then these are the fire escape staircases which are located at the 45 meters apart due to the including of the norms, the fire norms. Then I have this course. There are two cores in the building. Like the core consists of a services area. The services area has electrical and H units, a service lift and a service staircase, a pair of lifts for the public part and the toilets and fire escape. This is the lower ground floor plan. The lower ground floor plan is similar to the upper ground floor plan, but the hypermart is introduced at the northern part of the planning part. Then I have the travelators from the basement to the low ground, so they can easily access the basement from the low ground. Then I have the escalators which leads to the first floor. The first floor consists of a more number of smaller shops due to the visual ends, so they will get the more of visual part from the atrium and the bridge part. Then coming to the second floor. I have the second entry to the mall at the second floor due to the connectivity bridge between the metro and the mall. So I have introduced in a Urbanscape Plaza at the center of the like in between OAT and gallery and the mall. So the persons who can enter there can view. See, this is a photo of the Urbanscape, the plaza thing. Then this is another pic. This is the OAT. Coming to the third floor. The third floor is morely dense at every time of the malls. Like due to the location of theaters and food courts and gaming zones there. So more number of people will like mostly be there at every time. The theater consists of two large screens, two medium screens, and two like the gold class screens. The theater lobby is like double height, so they could use the massing part. Then this is the second level theater plan where the where the service like the AV rooms can be and the projector rooms can be accessed by the services from the service course. Then these are the detailed plans of theater. As you can see in the section, the lobby is double height, so they can use the down part of the seating part in the theaters as the takeaway counters like the popcorn and other kitchens. Coming to the basement B1. B1 consists of like uh, there are like the service part is at the behind, so the service vehicle can easily access the service ramp and can load and unload the stocks. The services has there. Then coming to the public part of the in the basement. In the basement, see the northern part, the person entering the basement from the ground is the violet color ramp. Then leads the yellow color one leads to the B2. On the other side, from B2 to B1 is the yellow color ramp. Then the B1 from the basement one to ground is the violet color one. Uh, in this basement, the parking system is the stack parking system. Here I can easily get around like 1,400 cars can be parked at a time here in the B1. This is the service ramp which I was talking. Coming to the basement 2. Basement 2 has a services part at the smaller area where the UGT and other fire-based systems are placed there. And I have the public lobbies where they can access the upper floors through these blue color ones. Here the cars are like 1,200 cars can be parked here. Totally 3,400 cars can be parked in both the basements, including both the basements. This is the section cut along the side, like section at the AA1, where you can see the atrium spaces, how much light can be gained from the atrium to the mall, the yellow part which you are seeing. Then this is across the site where you can see it is cut along with the metro gallery and the mall and the OAT thing. This is the view of the mall. The mall, like, it has the banners at the extruded part of the facade parts. And this is the view from the metro to the mall. The drop off to the mall happens here at the northern part of the site. This is the view of the urban scape. This is from ground level. Then this is the interior of the mall. How the interior looks from the entry lobby. The entry lobby is the double height thing, so they can view all the shops from the entry itself. Then these are the atrium spaces, can be viewed from the ground floor. Thank you.
We now have a walkthrough of Suhas's presentation.
By this, I would like to conclude my presentation. I would also like to thank our design faculties, Arunachal sir, Sana ma'am, and Neha ma'am, and also the Senthil sir for guiding us constantly and helping us to achieve better designs even during the pandemic. So I thanks to everyone.
Your limitation is only your imagination. Thank you, Suhas, for sharing your work and perspective.
Today's students value thoughtfully designed campuses that make them feel at home. And when architects design campuses with this core value in mind, students feel more connected to the campus culture and look forward to going to class each day. This is where effective campus design has the greatest impact. Now we welcome our second student, Nagashri of the sixth semester, to talk about her work on campus design. Over to you, Nagashri.
Thank you, Saman and Shalom. I'm Nagashri from third year, sixth sem, from Aditya Academy of Architecture and Design. First of all, I would like to thank our principal sir, K.N. Ganesh Babu sir, and our co-faculty members, Siddharth sir, Durga Prasad sir, and Maitri ma'am, for giving me such a great opportunity to showcase my work in this platform. And also this semester we were introduced to a campus design, and also I would like to share my online classes experience. That is, we had to due to this current pandemic situation, we had to face issues like network issues, and also we had a problem of understanding, but our lecturers helped us and guided us to the fullest, so that today I've finally successfully designed the campus design, and I would like to explain it to you all. Next slide. The main aim of the project is the higher educational institutions need facilities that has to be designed to enhance the teaching. So the main aim of the project is to provide a framework for students to promote good study habits and bring academic success. So to achieve a functional institutional campus design without any compromise to aesthetics and services. The objectives of the design is to design an institutional campus responding to the site conditions, to follow the immediate urban context and design accordingly, to use the site view to the fullest and follow every bylaw that the site commands. This design is carried on with a 56.8 acres. The purpose of the design is to design a National Institute of Design according to the requirements. The purpose of design is to have the campus ensures the highest and best use of land, and also the campus is to bring diverse people together, so that it creates a social exchange, and also it is of creating open spaces and the building form. Next slide. The facilities and activities that are utilized by faculty and students of an educational institutions. So it is traditionally a land on which the college university is situated. So it includes libraries, lecture halls, residence halls, student centers, and dining halls with lush green landscape. So it was a word which was derived from Latin word field, which was first used to describe a large field. Next slide. The history of campus. The tradition of campus began with the medieval European universities, where the students and teachers lived and worked together in a cloistered environment. The first university in India was CMS Kottayam College, which was built in Western style of architecture in 18 1817. The famous personalities to start universities were C.V. Raman and Rabindranath Tagore. Next slide. The requirements of the project is the college offers two main degrees, that is Bachelor of Design and Master of Design. It can and composes of total of 7 courses under 3 major departments. The 3 major departments are like industrial design, visual communication and textile. Under industrial design we have 3 courses, that is product design, furniture design and ceramic design. Under visual communication there are 2 courses, that is graphic design and animation. Under textile it has textile and apparel. So the total number of students is 1,120 students. For UG it is 840 and for PG it is 280. UG it is a 4-year program and PG it is a 2 years program. The intake for UG per course is 30 members, and for PG it is of 20 members. Next slide. Next. The requirements of the project is it has total number of students is 1,120 and the faculty members are of 140. So the total number of users are 1,260 users. So the toilets, so the area of toilet area per person is 25 square meter, and girls require 25 WC and 25 WB, and boys require 25 WC, 25 WB and 25 urinals. Staff and faculty of 140 faculty, which includes assistant professor, 8 assistant professors, 4 associate professors and 2 professors and 1 HOD, total of 15 faculties for each department. And it is the total area of the site is 56.8 acres. Next slide, please. The norms and standards are like this. The maximum ground coverage area is of 20%. The floor area ratio is of 0.8 and maximum height should be 15 meters. The basement can be provided, and also residential is of 25% of total land. The sports is of 15% of total area, and the landscape is also 15% of total land area. The norms for intake is of like minimum of 18 seats, additional of 6 seats, so that is 24, and above 24 about 24, that is plus 6, that is equal to 30 students per course is accredited. New course with intake less than 18 shall not be approved. Norms for the land requirement are it should cover hostel facilities, and also it should be a one continuous piece, and land can be made into 3 pieces, but it should not be more than 1 kilometer far from each other. So the built-up area requirement is divided into institutional area, administration area, and amenities area. Next. The site is accessible by Chikballapur bus stop is of 9.9 kilometers, and Chikballapur railway station is of 9.8 kilometers from the site. Kempegowda International Airport is 37 kilometers from the site, and Nandi Hills is of 20 kilometers from the site, and Nandi Halt is 8.7 kilometers from the site. Next slide, please. The site analysis, the wind the wind path is from northeast to southwest, and it has hill view and lake view, and the road is of 10 meters wide, and it is of dry and deciduous land. Next slide. So it has a tropical climate, and it has a temperature of 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, and it has a precipitation of 30%, that is 785 to 817 mm per annum. And also it had there is a pathway beside the lake in the site, and the soil was of laterite and red and clay. The landform is filled with rocks. Next slide, please. As I told, the land is contoured site. It has an interval of 2 meters, and there are contour gradients, which has the blue one is the highest one, that is which has a ratio of 1:4 to 1:7, and the dark gray is the medium one, which has the ratio of 1:8 to 1:19, and the lowest one is the light gray, which is 1:20 to 1:60, and the highest point is 134 and the lowest point is 90. Next slide, please. So the main approach to the site is from the south, and I placed the admin and auditorium in the nearer to that, and main entry is from there, and the main academic block is on the top here. The hostel block is placed here, and here I provided recreational, and the light gray one is the public, and this is the dark gray one is the semi-public, and the blue color is a private. Next slide, please. The concept of the design is the butterfly, and the concept imagined with the butterfly is its flapping wings. The form of butterfly is evolved in the design, and the 4 wings are divided as individual blocks, and the concept of butterfly is chosen because it has a deep connection with nature, and also the building design is sustainable and also integrates with the natural elements of the surrounding landscape, and it is linked with the as the site has the hill view and the lake view, so it is deeply linked with nature. Next slide, please. So this is the site plan, which has a parking area, admin, and here is academic block, OAT, and OAT and ground with the hostel block, recreation, and here I've provided residential parking and the exit. Next slide, please. In the master plan, you can see this is the visual communication block. This is the industrial is split into 2, and this is the textile block, and there is a these are the workshop blocks here, and which will be reached. There is a separate road for it to reach. So the equipments and the instruments are reached to the workshop block. This is the view of the site. Next slide. The views from the lake. Next slide. So coming to the main admin block, placed the main admin block here, and the main admin block has two entries with reception area and waiting area, and I've provided lift and staircase on either side to reach the next level. And this part is open to sky, and I've provided toilets with an handicap toilet, and there is this souvenir shop which is provided so that it will be accessible for the waiting people here. And in the ground floor, mainly it consists of the admin cabin and admin staff and the counseling room and examination room. Next, this is the roof plan, and this you can in this view you can see the double height space. So in the first floor, I provided vice principal and principal room and director room. Next slide. These are the views of the admin block. Next slide, please. So concept for the academic block is mainly, I said it is butterfly. Its wings are divided as 4 blocks. So as there was 3 courses, which is divided as 4 now. The butterfly has 4 wings, which the upper 2 wings and lower 2 wings are similar. So 2 upper wings are designed similarly, and 2 lower wings are designed similarly, which will have the upper wings will have the central courtyard and built form on either side, and the lower wings design is like this. That is, it will have a central open space and the built form on either side, and it will have a back garden. Next slide. So the main thing was to connect all these 4 blocks. That is connected like this, and it is also both the blocks are rotated according to the contour, and this is the main axis. I've created 2 axes, that is primary and secondary axis. This is the main axis, and this one is the secondary axis will be the connection to each blocks, and the main axis has to lead to somewhere. That is next slide. So the main axis has to lead to somewhere, that is the department library is being placed here. So this will be the main axis, and so that there is a separate axis provided to library. And next slide. So the long narrow passage or the staircase which will lead to the library acts as a vista, and also it will act as a informal interactive space for the students. Next slide. This is the department library, which is placed at the highest contour. As there is open space in the center, which creates a promenade and also provides a view of the lake. It provides a view of the lake, and this is the academic plan. The blocks are divided into 4 parts. That is textile, visual, and industrial block is divided into 2 blocks. The 4 different blocks are designed with the entrance plaza and central plaza. The main entry to all the blocks acts as an interactive space for students. It also provides the view of the hill and lake. Next slide, please. So this is the visual communication block. The visual communication is of the conveyance of the ideas and information in the form that can be seen. So it includes of 2 courses, that is graphic design, animation, and it has this is the wing which is on the lower side, which will have the central open space and built form on either side with back gardens. Next slide, please. So in visual communication block, there is basically the entrance has the admin and waiting area. That is the admin area and the waiting area. And studios are placed here, and the studios, the block is placed across the contour, and two studios are together with the back garden. And faculty is provided on either side with a central staircase and lift. This is the toilet detail. With the girls' toilet has 4 WC and WB, and 2 change rooms are provided. And the faculty has 8 assistant professor, 4 associate professors, and 2 professors and HOD. This is the studios with the back garden detail. Next slide, please. In the first floor, I provided lecture halls and lecture hall with a lab. And there is a central staircase which is provided. There are 3 different levels here, which is placed on 104 and 104 level, and 106 and 108. So there are 3 different levels which will be reached, and also it creates views for the students. In the second floor, I provided studios, and there are 3 different levels. Next slide, please. So this is the section of it. This is a section AA dash is across the contour. As I said, I've given lift and staircase in the center, which will be reached to the different levels that has been designed. And this is the section BB dash, which is along the contour, which is cut along the contour. In this, you can see a studio with back garden. Next slide, please. These are the views of the back garden and the entrance, and this is the different levels that I've created. This is the view of it. Next slide, please. So industrial block 1, the process. What is industrial design? Actually, it is a process of design applied to the products that are to be manufactured through techniques of mass production. It includes 3 main courses that we had to design: is product design, furniture design, and ceramic design. So mainly this also comes in the lower wing. So it has the same concept of it, that is central open space and built form on either side, and with the back garden. Next slide, please. So this block is placed across the contour, and the lecture halls and studios in the ground floor opens into a courtyard. So the lecture halls and studios open into a courtyard. In this view, you can see there is a courtyard provided, back garden provided for the students to interact. The next slide, please. The first floor has lecture halls and lecture hall with lab, and there are 3 different levels, which is on 110 level and 104 to 110 level. It is placed, and in this mainly the different thing I've created is I've given open terrace. Next slide, please. So these are the sections. This is in the center. I've provided the lift and staircase and reaching the different levels. These are the views of it, the open terrace and the entrance views of it. Next slide, please. Next slide. The industrial block 2. This is the industrial block 2, which comes on the upper wing, which has a concept of central open space and built from on either side. Next slide, please. So industrial block is designed with a central open space and the studios, labs, and lecture halls projects. And the lecture halls and studios in the ground floor opens into a courtyard. Here provided in the center, the courtyard is being provided in the center, which will come, which is on the upper wing. The studios are of 120 square meters, which is of 10 by 12 meters. It has a capacity of 56 members. And the lecture halls are of 10 into 6 meters, that is 60 square meters, and has a capacity of 36 members. So in this design, you can see there is an admin here, faculty, and the studios and lecture halls opens into a courtyard. Next slide, please. In the first floor, I provided lecture hall and a lab. Lab is of 10 into 12 square meters. That is 120 square meter, and provided lift and staircase in the center, so that it is easily accessible from, and also it will be easy to access the next level from here, which is placed on 114 and 116. So to reach the next level, it is easier to access. Next, on the second floor, I've given open terrace and studios. Next slide, please. So this is the section across the contour. In this section AA dash, you can see that how both the levels are connected with the staircase, and this is cut along this section. Section BB dash is cut along across along the contour. So in this you can these are the views. So in this you can see the studios, and this is the views of it. Next slide, please. The textile block design is of the creative and technical process by which the threads are woven together or interlaced to form a flexible and functional and decorative. So this includes two courses, that is textile and apparel. This is also of a central space and built from an either side concept, that is the upper wing of the butterfly. So next slide, please. So in this floor plan, you can see there are two entrances from here and also here. In the key plan, you can see it is accessible from also the industrial block 2, and also it can be accessible from here. It has studios and faculties, and the central staircase and lift is provided with the admin. So it is placed on 116, 114 and 112 level. Next slide, please. So the lecture hall, the lab is of the lab has an capacity of 42 members. So there are two different levels, two different levels and central open space created. On the second floor, I've given studios. All have been all are studios, and these are the views of the textile block. Next slide. So this is the food court which is placed near the lake so that it is attractive to access this space. Next slide, please. Open air theater, which is placed. The open air theater is designed with three different types of OATs. OAT is located near the academic block and central library so that it is accessible easily. The central space leads to three different OATs with different levels. This is designed for the student informal interactions. Next slide, please. So this is the central library which is placed beside the academic block so that it is accessible by the students. Next slide, please. So this is the hostel block which is placed around the hostel block is designed around the ground of an area of 20,000 square meters, and the hostel blocks are of 5,000 square meters. And this is the view of it. Next slide. Thank you everyone for giving your time and listening to my design. And I conclude my design by thanking everyone for giving such a great opportunity to showcase my design in this platform.
Great things never came from comfort zones. Thank you, Nagashri, for sharing your design. The challenge of designing a community with a tight budget and space constraints, together with the essential duty of responding correctly to the requirements of the user, is sometimes one of the most challenging and motivating tasks an architect can face. How can you take advantage of space most effectively? How can you avoid wasted material? And how do you develop a simple design that also delivers value to its inhabitants? To further elaborate, I now ask Munaza of the fourth semester to present her work on community housing.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Munaza Firdos of fourth semester, and I will be presenting my design on group housing. Before that, I would like to share my online experience when there was a transition from normal classes to online classes. It was a little difficult to manage and convey our ideas to our faculty members, and there was a lot of network issue at the beginning. But I would like to thank our faculty members to keep motivating us and support us to overcome this situation. Now I am glad to have this opportunity to present my design on this platform. So I would like to start sharing my slide. So coming to the case study and the literature study, the first case study is the housing community of architect David Baker, that is Armstrong Palace. It is located in San Francisco in USA. The site is about 5.5 acres of land with a family housing and a senior housing. It has podium level where the parking is provided with a lobby, fitness room, children play area. So coming to the first floor plan, that is the family town housing, there are about 124 dwelling units where 344 family members are living. It has two main entries from Bancroft Avenue and one from Armstrong Avenue Road. It has parking around the site, about 185 car parking capacity. It has a central open gardening space. This is the central open gardening space which acts as a community gathering space and a children play area. And these are the services which are present in the site. There are about 7 water hydrants in the site which supplies water to the sump. Then it supplies to individual overhead tank. It has solar panels in the senior town housing. In senior town housing, it is having G+3 and G+2 in family housing. Architect David Baker used vertical planning and has used color palettes which is reflecting the culture and tradition of African and American neighborhood on the facade of the building with an outdoor open seating space. Inspiring from his design, I have involved parametric design on the facade of my building, which creates the change in the shape of the building using geometrical shapes and using some parameters to have some projections and rebound effect. This is the another group housing, that is Tara Housing by Charles Correa. It is located in New Delhi. The main concept of this site to have a vernacular typology and for low-rise high-density housing units. The site is of 3.1 acres and it has 160 dwelling units and around 320 family members are living. The pedestrian and the vehicular movement is separated and are well defined in the site. There is a conflict only at the 2 entrances and the third entrance is dedicated only for the pedestrian. Here the dwelling units are arranged similar to that of row house, of which the central street is developed as multifunctional landscape. Parking area is at northwest direction on the lower level of the following site contour and is visually separated by the dwelling units. The services like water tank and the powerhouse are concealed in 3-meter level difference of the site contour. In floor configuration, it has combination of 2 blocks of 3-meter wide and 15-meter long, and also has been used interlocking method in arranging the blocks. Group housing. Group housing means group of separate or linked dwelling units accessed via a communal private road with one or more shared entrance, where the development is planned, designed and built as a harmonious architectural entity, which may have low, medium or high density units and which are arranged around or inside a communal open space in a varied or in an ordered way, and with all the facilities, common services and public amenities. Coming to my project on group housing, this is a site analysis. The site is of 8 acres and it is located in Rajankunte, Bangalore. The sun path is from east to west towards south direction, as the climate over here is moderate with annual temperature 23.6 degrees Celsius. There are some existing elements in the site, that is the hillock, the 2 water bodies, the existing building and a OST. The contour of the site is little varies. It is plus 0 level at roadside and it is gradually decreasing minus 3 level towards the hillock. The nearest bus stop is the Rajankunte bus stop, which is at 0.7 kilometer. When we see the positive impacts of the site, all the public facilities are nearby to the site, which are at walkable distance. There is less traffic and good ventilation. When we come to the negative impacts of the site is far away from the main road. Planning should be done considering the existing elements and there is less public approach. Site zoning. I have given 2 main entrances towards north side of the main road. We are supposed to have 3 housing communities, that is villa, row house and apartment. First, I have given row house at the main entrance Then comes villa. These are having low density units. And around hillock, I have provided apartments which are high density units. Amenities are placed at the center so that it can be easily accessible by all the dwelling community people. Site plan. As I said in the zoning, I have given two main entrances towards the north direction. One from the row house and other from the apartments, so that it can be easily accessible from both the sides. At the first main entrance, there is a visitor parking of 450 square meter, having capacity of 22 cars and with a security cabin. I have maintained a linear circulation in my site plan with the rigid forms, where the primary axis or the primary road is of 12 meter wide and secondary road is 8 meter wide. I have used different color indication to show housing units. The orange one are the row house which are facing east-west direction in my site plan. And beside to them are the villa. There are total 11 villas which are placed around the existing building, which are shown in the pink color. There are about 7 blocks of 3 BHK which are shown in purple color and 5 blocks of 2 BHK which are shown in dark blue color. These are placed around the hillock so that to achieve the good view of the lake and the hillock. Near to the hillock, there is a park and a children play area. Next to it, there is a clubhouse of 300 square meter with a swimming pool and a cafeteria about 100 square meter. Around the hillock, I have provided a jogging track of 1.5 meter wide. Beside the hillock and the water body, I have given a tennis court of 70 square meter. I have placed a substation at the main entrance and there are 3 transformers in the site and 2 OHT, and STP is provided at the lower level of the site near to the hillock. These are the site sections. The above one is section A dash, where we can see the 2 main entrances and with all the dwelling units. The next one is the site section B dash, where the section is cut through hillock, water body and an apartment. So this is a road section which is cut through the row house, and the above one is the view of the row house, where the primary road is of 12 meter wide and the secondary road is of 8 meter wide. The height of the street light is 6 meter, and these are the services shown through the section of road. Site view. This is the overall site view. Towards northeast, I have given row house. There are 25 dwelling units of row house, and around the existing building, I have given 11 villas, and towards west side, there are apartments which are high density units, and amenities are placed at the center so that it can be accessible from all the sides. Row house. These dwelling units share common wall and has 2-sided ventilation, that is from front and back. The area is about 100 square meter each, and each unit is having 3 BHK with 1 vehicular parking. This is the ground floor plan of row house. This is the entry towards the east direction. I have given a living, then the dining with an open kitchen towards the west side to have a good ventilation. I have given 1 bedroom at ground floor and a car parking area. This is the first floor plan of row house. where I have a family living area with a balcony for good ventilation. There is a study room and there are 2 bedrooms which are sharing bathroom and 1 bedroom with a balcony. These are the sections of row house. The first one is horizontally cutting through the staircase, where we have living and car parking at ground floor, study room and bedroom at the first floor. The second section is vertical cut section, where we have living and dining with bathroom in ground floor, study room and family area at the first floor. This is the isometric view of row house, where I have used parametric design on the facade of the building. The material used is axon cladding, glass and concrete. The other one is the elevation of row house. These are the elevation and the view of row house, where I have used the parametric design to have the projection and the rebound effect in the front facade of the building. Now, these are having 4-sided ventilation. The area is about 100 square meter and has 4 BHK with a vehicular parking. This is the ground floor of villa. Entry, this is the main entry. I have a living which is a public space, then a dining with an open kitchen and with a utility area, 1 bedroom, and I have used open well staircase to have good ventilation. There is an outdoor seating which leads to the swimming pool and it can be easily accessed even through the kitchen. This is the first floor plan of villa. It is having a family area and has a double height of living room. There are 2 bedrooms which are having attached bathroom and 1 is having a balcony for the good ventilation. It is also having a children's play room next to the family area. This is the second floor plan of villa. It has a home theater. Next to it, there is an open sitting space with a pergola projection. Then we have a master bedroom with a bathroom. There is a study room with a library and with a balcony to have good ventilation. The next one is the terrace floor plan, which is having a headroom. So this is the section of villa. The first one is the vertical cut section, section II-, where the living, kitchen and the outdoor is placed at the ground level with double height of living room. It has an outdoor seating with pergola projection. The second section is a horizontal cut section, where we have living, car parking at the ground floor, children play area, family area and a bedroom in the first floor, bathroom, bedroom, study room and library in the second floor. This is a front elevation of villa, where I have used the parametric design on the building facade. I have used cyan cladding on this design. These are the views of villa, where I have used parametric design for the front facade. In the second picture, there is a swimming pool with an outdoor sitting space with a pergola projection. I have used larger windows to have good ventilation. And this is the west elevation of villa. These are the elevations of villa. This is the silt parking and the beam placement in 2 BHK apartment. In silt parking, I have given double driveway about 6 meters. It has an entrance to the apartment where one side has staircase and a lift. The other side is having staircase and fire exit staircase. Both the blocks are getting connected at the first floor through a common shared corridor. The column to column distance is 6 meters. It has a capacity of 34 cars and 16 two-wheelers. So this is the floor plan of 2 BHK apartment. Area is about 100 square meter for the each unit, leaving the common space of 20%. The built-up area is 80 square meter for each unit. I have used pie typology in the arrangement. It has direct entrance from the corridor, the living area, where the living area is getting ventilation through the balcony. Then it has a dining with an open kitchen. It has 2 bedrooms, one with attached bathroom. This is the horizontal cut section of 2 BHK apartment. It is cut through the open to sky duct and staircase, where it is 18 meters in height. This is a view of 2 BHK apartment. 3 BHK floor plan. Each unit has area about 125 square meter with 20% of common shade space. It has a large open to sky for the good ventilation. It has 2 typology of the building. The type 1 has a living, dining, then with an open kitchen, 3 bedrooms with 2 balcony for the ventilation. Type 2 has living, then dining with an open kitchen, 3 bedrooms and 2 balconies. So this is a horizontal cut section of 3 BHK apartment where the ventilation which is coming from open to sky duct, and it is about 18 meter height. So this is the another 3 BHK block. This is a self parking having capacity of 20 cars and 20 two-wheelers. The column to column placement is 6 meter wide. So I have provided the double driveway. The depth of the beam over here is 0.45 meter, and this is the beam placement. This is the floor plan of 3 BHK apartment. It has a 4 typological arrangement where it has a public space which is living room, then semi-public, the dining and the open kitchen. Ventilation is through balcony for the living as well as kitchen. It has 3 bedrooms with 1 bedroom with attached bathroom. This is the horizontal cut section of 3 BHK apartment which is having 18 meter height. It is having self parking at the ground level, and the dwelling units are placed above the first floor. This is the view of 2 BHK apartment where axon cladding is used with white cladding at the facade to have contrast between the material. So these are the view of 3 BHK apartment and the elevation. I have used axon cladding and concrete for the facade. I have used the French doors and windows for the balcony. Site services. This is the seabed service. The water which is coming from individual houses get collected through inspection chamber. Then through 100 mm dia of distribution sewage pipeline, it goes to the manhole. From the manhole, it goes to STP. STP is placed at the lower level of the site near the hillock. This is stormwater and rainwater harvesting services of the site, where the water which is collected on a roof and the water which is collected on the surface towards the roadside will be collected in the recharge pit, and this water is led to the water bodies. So this is the water supply services of the site, which is the water which is coming from the municipal is supplied to the main sump, and it is supplied to the OHT, existed OHT. Then this water is pumped and is supplied to individual sump, and then it goes to the individual overheaded tank. One OHT is present near the visitor parking. Other existed like other OHT I have provided near the hillock. This is the electrical services of the site. The electricity which is coming from the Bescom HT feeder is supplied to main substation, which is present near the visitor parking. Then I have provided 3 transformers, one near to the row house, other near to the 3 BHK, and the third transformer is near the hillock. From the main substation, the power is supplied to the transformer. Then from the transformer, it is supplied to feeder pillar. Like 10 housing units will have one feeder pillar. Then this feeder, then from this, the power is supplied to individual meter boards. Then the distance between 2 street light I have given is 20 meter, and for the boundary lights I have given the distance is 30 meter. So these are the site drawings. In the first drawing, the water which is supplied from lower level to the higher level, where the overhead tank is placed at the lower level, and apartments are placed gradually at the higher level, require some pressure to get supplied. In the second picture, the water is supplied from the higher level to the lower level, but there will be no much pressure required. In the third drawing, the water which is collected from the rain and from the surface of the roadside will be collected into the recharge pit, and this water is let into the water body. Then the main entrance. This is the view and the design of the main entrance, which is of 3.8 meter in height and 12 meter wide. The next one is the main entrance one, which is towards the row house, and as we can see the existed OHT. The next drawing is where the drain which is coming from the building is collected into inspection chamber. Then it is supplied to the manhole. From manhole it is passed out to STP. We can see the transformer and the feeder pillar which supplies the power to the building. The next one is the compound wall, which is 2 meter in height, and I have used stone for the material. The next picture is the main entrance, which is towards the apartments, and the last picture is the existing OHT, where the water which is collected in the sump is supplied to the existing OHT. Here there will be no much pressure because the existing OHT which is present at the higher level can easily supply to water to the dwelling units. Thank you.
Dream it, believe it, build it. Thank you, Munaza, for that presentation.
Architects have this role that involves reading and recognizing spatial potential on one hand and understanding societal needs on the other. From including warmth and safety, defining well being, or creating a positive and efficient working environment, spaces have a whole lot of impact on how we act or what we feel. Therefore, design and creative measures should be considered according to the social and psychological needs of the occupants. I now ask our final student, Dhanush, of the second semester, to present his residential project.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. Today, in next 20 minutes, you people will be seeing my presentation and what inspired me to do it. I'm Dhanush from second sem triple AD. Before going to my presentation, I want to share a small story with you guys. I hope you people enjoy it. There was a one teacher and four students lived. A teacher has a bag of sand with him, and he divided sand into four equal parts and distributed among the students. And the student has to carry the sand. And the students has to carry the sand with their hands joined till the end of the path. Till the end of the path, the teacher will be guiding the teacher how to reach their destiny. At starting, every people will be excited to start. When it goes on, and when it goes on, the fourth student he feels somewhat uncomfortable because of his hand pain, and he goes on pouring his sand throughout his path. And the fourth student and the first student also does the same thing. He also pours the sand towards the ground, little amount of the sound, and remaining two people will bear all the pain and reaches to 75%. At the 75%, the second student he feels tired, and he will pour half of the amount of the sand towards the ground. And the second student he bears all the pain and reaches his destiny. Guess what happened? The sand became gold. Sand became gold. By seeing this, all the four students were shocked, and by leaving this, other two students did not get anything. They felt very bad for it, and they realized that they did not bear pains as their friends. By seeing this, all we can know that by trusting towards teachers, trust me, they will make us a successful personalities. Here, gold refers to a successful life, and here trust if we trust towards teachers, we will get guidance, knowledge, and how to face challenges. And the moral of the story is, where you believe, you live. And I explained you a story. I explained you how to become successful in your life. Reality I told you as a story. Without work we cannot achieve anything. Coming to my presentation, the things happens suddenly due to COVID pandemic. We could not even carry our drafting instruments from hostel to hometown, and without any availability. So we have to got to use of it, and we realized that at difficult times we need more innovations. Coming to my presentation, site analysis. Next slide, please. In site analysis, we got off a design in corner site in Garden City of Bangalore with beautiful lake towards the west side. There was a residence building in north and east side with the road west and south. As we all know that we will get summer monsoons from south to west, and in winter we get in north to east. The summer sun path is about 80 degree. In winter, we are about 44 degree. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. We got to design a house for an architect, which we have full expression of creativity, applying techniques, artics, and knowledge we gained so far. And it has to be an unique building to show that reality how creative can architect can be. we people always will be inspired from one or the other thing in our life. It may be books, lectures, movies, hobbies, designs, etc., so on, so on. By taking inspiring things, we can create a design, and by adding some more features to it. I inspired by an Roman architectural wonder, Pantheon. About this we studied in our HOA discussion class. Through the dome structure is huge and gives a feeling of enclosed and a feeling of belonging amount of large spaces, people who gathered there. And I was attracted by possibility of reducing it into domestic scale, using into my design and getting a feeling of crazy encloseness. Next slide, please. Sometimes we were searching for an ideas, we across a strange attractive forms we will be finding. This for this famous rock is from the uh, somehow it fascinated me, and through I not tried to copy this form but in my design. The nature creativity made me feel I should also try to other than usually rectangle in my form. Next slide, please. By taking these two features, I mingled, I got this form. Now the additive and subtractive takes place. Next slide, please. Moving on to plans, I have an architect office at the ground level so that the first floor can be exclusively for residents. To create a right abundance for creative work, I gave a huge windows facing towards the lake and given a gardening. And the office room has a spaces of an architect's cabin and architect's cabin, discussion area and workspace. After that, the storage area, pantry, toilet, and car parking for 2 cars. Next, coming to my first floor, as we enter to the house, we have a beautiful idol. The residence is planned to be a free flow and not to confined by the four walls. A living room, dining room, kitchen is all or open type. At the center of the house, the puja room is present, where it has attached with the water body with having pebble to give a special space. Living level difference has been created. Other than that, everyone would like to have a nice garden, a nice dinner in garden atmosphere. Therefore, I created a greener space in first floor. For the house of functioning effectively, utility space is more important. I have gave a spacious area for it, and the guest room is attached with toilet and balcony too. There is a beautiful view towards the lake from balcony. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. This is the most private spaces of all around the house. I have designed a master bedroom, kids bedroom with and home theater with attached toilet and beautiful balconies too. And all the rooms are having cross ventilations. And next, coming to third floor, we have a gaming room. We have a gaming room, gym room with balcony. I have also provided a space for clothes drying area. At the top, horizontal and vertical structure is being designed to give a rich look. All three sides has been provided a three glasses. Next, coming to my elevations. Next slide, please. This elevation is towards the west, where we have view towards the lake. I have provided more windows and balconies towards the west, we so that we get good view. To balance a building, I have given light walls and dark color windows so that it gives a contrast look. And I used this contrast all the three sides. Next slide. Next slide. Hello. Next slide, please.
Yeah, Dhanush, it is in the next slide, the east side elevation.
I cannot see. This elevation is faced towards the neighbor of the residence. I could not see. Coming to sections.
Just continue with your presentation, Dhanush.
This section is which cuts towards the horizontal in plan. Next slide, please. Section B dash. I have my section B dash, which it cuts towards vertical in plan. Next slide, detail sheets. The special feature of these details, I have shown an elevation. If I remove one wall to, I have shown the waterfall, which it has big mass, and if I cut one wall towards the right, get a side view, and water flows from pool to lotus. Coming to toilet, can I know how many of you people like to spend more time in toilet? Usually we architects usually toilets are most neglected portions of a house. As an architects, we have to give an equal amount or equal importance to design and toilet too. And here the walls were dark colored and dark colored texture, and the light is behind the mirror so that it gives contrast look. To give a fresh look, I used small shrubs. Next slide, please. In puja, in this elevation, if I remove the front wall, we can see pebble, which we can see pebble water. I used a glass and timber to design my puja room, and there is no roof to the puja room. To make it special space, the level difference has been created in living room. In living room towards the left side, and kitchen dining area is towards right side. Next slide, please. These are my photos, which further explains my. This is my isometric view. Next slide, please. These are my models, and which further explains my designs. I have made a detailing. This is an front elevation and west side elevations. Next slide, please. This is north elevation, and this is towards the east, which face towards residence. Next slide, please. Next slide. This is an interior spaces I have designed. Next, please. Next. Next slide, please. Next. Next slide, please. I could not see it.
It's in the details, Dhanush.
Okay. Next slide, please. Thank you. I want to end my presentation by saying a sentence. The real happiness doesn't lie in success, money, fame. It lies within. The real happiness lies in gratitude. By saying this, I want to thank our design faculty members and principals sir for giving this wonderful opportunity to explain my design. And I want to thank our moderators and delegates. Last but not least, I want to thank our Indian soldiers who are guarding Indian border, and also Corona warriors. Because of them, we are safe and sound in homes. Thank you.
Don't wait for opportunities, create it. Thank you, Dhanush, for your presentation.
As we wrap up with the presentation of Aditya Academy's Open Week, I'd like to inform you all about our upcoming event, which is the AAAD Symposium, a 2-day program starting on the 13th of August, which will consist of a workshop, Independence and Interdependence in the Architecture, on day 1, and Inclusive Architecture on day 2. conducted by IIT Professor Architect Gaurav Raheja. On the 14th, we have a panel discussion, Looking Beyond the Studios by well-known architects, Architect Krishna Rao Jaisam, Architect Gaurav Raheja, Architect Sandhya Manjunatha, and our very own principal, Architect Ganesh Babu. We request you all to mark your presence and be a part of this event. Please note, attendance is compulsory. There is no substitute for hard work. Pushing your limits can lead you to things beyond your expectations. We now welcome Architect Neha ma'am to say a few words.
Thank you, Shalom. Am I audible and clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Let me start by congratulating all students for presenting their work so systematically. This Open Day series was a platform for all to reach out to a wider audience and, more importantly, to learn from each other. For students of first and second years, it was also an opportunity to see the trajectory that they'll be following as they advance further in the course. I'm sure through these 5 days of the sessions, all of you have realized that design is not done in isolation. Each and every subject that you study through these 5 years helps you in designing better. As it has been said repeatedly, online mode of learning had its own set of challenges. As a part of 8-semester design studio, if you ask me, were we able to tap the full potential of all the students, then I would say maybe not 100%. But then there's always room for improvement, and even especially when we are doing something for the first time. But we are still very proud of each batch, each student, because they never stopped trying and they never stopped learning. Big round of applause for culminating this semester so beautifully and in such a professional manner. As a faculty, it has been such a gratifying experience to witness these sessions. Having rounded up the studio teaching, let's keep the spirit high for exploring what's beyond the studios. Architecture is for all, but are we designing spaces which include and is accessible to all the end users? Learn the concepts of inclusive design in an exclusive workshops arranged for you by IIT Professor Architect Gaurav Raheja in the 2-day symposium on 13th and 14th of this month. Please note that it has been made mandatory for your own benefit, so please participate enthusiastically, as there's lots to experience and lots to learn. All the best once again, and over to you moderators, who I must say have been doing a wonderful job. Over to you, Shalom.
Thank you, ma'am, for your insights.
Success is not measured by what you accomplish, but by the opposition you have encountered and the courage with which you have maintained the struggle against overwhelming odds. Well, all good things must come to an end, but not before we welcome Architect Durga Prasad sir to share a few words.
Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hi all of you. I think it was culminated well. And we did watch all the sessions. It's a wonderful work by all the semesters. I think now we are set up for the next semester. I hope all the students are listening to me very carefully. So from Monday, we are starting the new semester. HOD was busy today, so he told me to just inform all of you. And it's not like the old semesters where, we don't have an account of your attendance and all that. I think there is a proper system of attendance we'll be taking every day. Basically, I think the timetables have gone out. Shalom?
No, sir, not yet.
Timetables have reached?
Not yet, sir.
Achha. Yeah, no problem. Timetables will reach soon. Today, I think they will reach all of you. So kindly see the subjects what you have. I think your design is on Tuesday and Friday. So please note that, don't miss classes. Attendance will be taken regularly. So from Monday, we are starting the new semester. Okay. So hope it is clear. Shalom, is it clear?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Yeah. So I thought it is important to announce now because all of you are there on the forum. Okay. And thank you once again. It was a wonderful program. Shalom?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well coordinated. Very nice. Congratulate all of you who are involved behind this. Okay, okay, I would give the mic to you. Shalom?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I now hand it over to Architect Durga Prasad, sir, before we head to the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Shalom and Saman. Well, we all know that key for architecture is peer learning and sharing of ideas, which has been the DNA at AAAD. As architects, we always talk about designing in the present, carrying the past experiences for a better future, which is essentially unknown. E-learning is not just a change of technology, but it is a part of redefining of how we as species transmit knowledge, skills, and values to younger generations of students. We have been witnessing a wonderful design thinking and synthesizing of ideas by all our students across various semesters. E-learning has offered an opportunity in raising the educational standards in the field of architecture. But if we look at real life conditions, we at present scenario have opened up a new dimension, amalgamating digital platform and classroom learning. As a coordinator for this event, I take this privilege to thank our friend and principal, Professor Ganesh Babu sir, for introducing this Open Week series, for sharing ideas among students. I express my heartfelt thanks to all my co-faculty members, student coordinators, and moderators for this event. I also thank our AAAD management for giving us an opportunity. Last but not the least, I would conclude myself congratulating all my dear students and our best wishes for future. Thanking one and all, thank you.
With this, we conclude our open house week. But not to worry, we still have many more exciting events lined up for you this month. Stay tuned and we hope to see you again very soon. Thank you for joining us.